Today we have a smaller group, but we do have an agenda that I think will be beneficial to everyone who is listening. I am Patrice Faison, the Chief Academic Officer for New Hanover County Schools, and I'm going to let Ms. Bradford introduce herself.
I am Pat Bradford, Vice Chair of the Board of Education and an advisor to this committee. Welcome.
Okay. So what I will say before I turn it over to Dr. DeWalt, who will be leading this meeting, if you are listening out there or for anyone, we would love to hear what you want from this meeting. This is a time where we want to respond to your needs. So please, you can email myself, Patrice Faison, or Dr. DeWalt, or Mrs. Bradford. And we would love to respond to you and make sure you're getting what you would like to see out of these meetings. So we have a full agenda, and I'm going to turn it over to Dr. Laura DeWalt, who is our Director of Curriculum and Instruction.
Thank you for being here today, y'all. So today's agenda, we're going to start with an update for math, and then we have DeMarcus is going to be joining us from our career and technical education, and then we're going to wrap up talking a little bit about ELA. We've got some exciting new adoption for that, and so really that last one is really thinking about how can we make sure that we have transparency with parents and setting up some times this summer for parents to get their hands on the curriculum and take a look as well alongside our teachers who are being trained. Any changes to the agenda, or we're good to keep on keeping on?
Mm-hmm.
Great. So we're going to talk a little bit about Desmos. So Desmos is a math platform that we are switching to in our 6th through 8th grade, as well as Math 1. So it's a switch in platform, but it's not really a huge switch in curriculum. So right now we have sort of a student-centered approach to math, which means we do a lot of problem-based thinking, a lot of focus on student discourse, as you know. And this up here we have secondary, but this student-centered math also includes Eureka Squared, which happens, all the way down to our very, very youngest learners at the pre-K level. So the switch really is for middle school, going from Open Up to Desmos. It's authored by the same company, Illustrative Math, which is an open source company. And for our Math 1, from Envision to Desmos. And so we're going to kind of talk through how that decision was made and why that decision was made here, just so that y'all can be aware of all the pieces that are in flux right now. So like I said, it's problem-based, student-centered curriculum. It's centered around student discourse. With the new Desmos platform, we'll still have the same print materials that are authored by the same people who authored Open Up. But what we get with Desmos, which is really exciting for our one-to-one initiative, is a complete digital curriculum. So it has not only the online access for students, but facilitation tools for teachers. And that's really important because it's about engaging students with the tech and not just putting them on a computer and having a computer teach them math. This has been a long time coming. We've been piloting this for 3 years now. We've had about 20 teachers piloting it, and our teachers are really excited, and we've got really great feedback. Same with our Math 1 teachers. 95% of our Math 1 teachers are in support of this switch to this Desmos platform. And we piloted it this year at New Hanover High School, and they had really, really strong results, particularly around higher engagement with the content. And we're going to hear directly from the teachers. They weren't able to be here today, but Katie Martin has really done, who's our
fabulous job.
Our math specialist at the secondary level has done a really fabulous job making sure that teachers are in support of this and well prepared to roll it out next year. So, what is it? Basically, it is all lessons kind of follow the same pattern, and this is something we talked about with our ELA adoption too, is that having that consistency for students is so important. So they know what to expect, they know how to engage in each lesson every single day. So it follows the same strategic process to get kids through. And then we're going to talk here, I'm going to show you actually some live videos of kids engaging with the work and hearing directly from the teachers who have been doing it. So I might have to get up to play this, but hopefully it works. This is Jane Herman. She is a teacher at Murray Middle, and let's see if it goes.
Is everybody still working?
There we go.
But we will go over them all together, but I want to make sure you kind of agree amongst each other first. Logan, you can look away, just make sure. Are you stuck on this one? Oh, I didn't see the answer, okay. Do you and Lynn have the same answers? Do you guys have the same answers on yours? No? Okay, which one is different?
So what you saw there, you could see the student screen as they were going through, but what this platform allows teachers to do is to facilitate students in real time who's having difficulties, who they need to intervene with. They can see the other students' answers, who might they need to strategically partner with them with, and it really allows the technology to support the instruction rather than to replace the instruction of the teacher, which we know, teachers are irreplaceable. Of course, teachers are the heart of what makes it work. And so the other thing that it does is it allows answers to be submitted anonymously. So the teacher knows Miss Bradford's having trouble with this problem and nearby Patrice might be a good partner for her. But on the screen where other kids are seeing, it says Albert Einstein. So it gives them the name of famous mathematicians. So it saves the kids some face for the kids.
Is it kind of like the chat in Zoom when you're taking a Zoom class and you chat in and the teacher can see your answers, but not everyone else can?
Exactly. But the teacher can choose, hey, Miss Bradford had a great answer, and now I'm going to share that on the screen for everybody else to see too. So you can give students credit where they're, when you want to see kids shine, and you can also make sure to differentiate for them. It's not self-paced, the teacher's controlling the pace of the lesson, but it's individualized.
And the teacher, what I really enjoyed when I was watching it is the teacher can say, okay, I need you back up here with me, and hit a button and everybody's screen goes black.
Yep.
Yeah, so it's not about, exactly, it's
The
not about,
facilitation.
yes, the teacher is truly, truly in control of the learning the process we're going through.
Yep. And I'm going to get up and actually move to the computer here. So the other great thing that this platform allows our teachers to do, Sherry, do I need to use the microphone? So the other thing this allows our teachers to do is it is accessible to students before you even get into the mathematical numbers. So this is from a Math 1 activity here. Let's see if I can get it to go. And so this activity, well, I'll let you kind of go through. So it's talking about pizza delivery, number of minutes. It relates to all the problems before they jump into the math, relates it to something that all students know about. Everybody's ordered a pizza. Everybody can understand kind of how that works. It includes writing right in there, so we know that literacy across the curriculum is important. And then takes it through where now it gets to the mathematical thinking, where they're doing the actual standards-based work. And so, again, it's not any different than what they had with their previous, because it's authored by the same people. It's the same work, but the visual access to it, the ability to navigate it online, to go back and replay something is all there, facilitated through the technology platform. Here's another example. Again, it starts without numbers, so you're just building that concept before we add the interactive component where students are now balancing hangers as a way to introduce equations. So before we talk about equality and equal equations and balancing equations, we've done it first without numbers and then jumping into adding the math to it. So they then go in, explain their thinking, look at responses from classmates. That can be shared out loud from this platform, which is really awesome. This is a teacher from New Hanover High School who has piloted this with his Math 1 class, and he talks about really why Desmos is better, how he used to do it, and what he's seen these last 2 semesters. So he can say it much better than I can.
The time in the past, I've introduced access to symmetry with the formula, and do the students really understand that? Do they? They're just like, okay, we do this magic formula and we find the access to symmetry. Whereas this way, it showed them the graph folding over, it showed them the fact it was symmetrical, and they were putting it in there. And I think it was more, not only, like I said, more engaging because they were doing it, but I think it was more relatable as well for them. There it is.
Oh, well, the video cut off. But if we had kept going with the video, and it physically shows the axis of symmetry, and the teacher then controls, and I see that Jordan had to watch it 5 times, and I can navigate through, so it's not self-paced, but I can individually see how all my students have responded to that activity. So we're really excited about this and partnering with technology to make sure that as we move one-to-one, that the resources we're giving support teachers with that move as well. And like I said, Katie Martin has been really instrumental in this, and I know she's super disappointed she couldn't join us here today, but has really helped to support the work so the teachers are ready for this shift. Y'all have questions?
Can I take you back to a couple of
Absolutely.
things, points on it? Can you go back to the graph?
Absolutely.
The one that shows the, the envisions.
Sure.
So one of the things that I want to highlight is that, first of all, before we do anything, we always talk to our teachers. So this is something that our teachers, once again, brought to us and said, we want you to look at this. And particularly those in New Hanover, and
At New Hanover, yeah, they
yeah,
were.
New
Well,
Hanover.
the other people were already piloting it. New Hanover said, "We want in.
We want it.
We
And
hear
then,
good things."
and then we heard other teachers saying, okay, we want to hear about this, and they've heard more. So, and you'll see at the board meeting, I'll actually share the data where 90-some% of our teachers said, let's make this move. So I think it's important for everybody to know. But I wanted you to look at this slide to see, currently we're doing 2 different platforms, or 2 different things. We're doing Envision and we're doing Open Up. Now what we're gonna do is, we're gonna all move to Desmos. And Desmos, the calculator portion of it, is on elementary as well. So it's on the end of the grade test. It's just a no-brainer. So,
Vertical alignment for them.
so it's that vertical alignment for everyone. So I think it's important, and I just want to make sure our teachers and Dr. DeWalt and Mrs. Martin spoke with every principal. So this is just not teachers, this is principals. Of course, principals want to support their teachers, and our teachers are so excited about it. So this is one of those things where we're basically doing the same thing, but we're going to take away people doing it using this platform and that platform, and as a district, we're going to do this platform. And another piece that we didn't share with this group, but I'll share at the board meeting, is this is less money. We're actually going to save, what, about 200,000?
Yeah, 165,000.
Yeah, so we're actually saving money by doing it this way.
That's a huge plus.
Yes, it is a huge, and those are the components that I will be sharing at the board meeting. But I just wanted to make sure everybody listening out there, I want to make sure everybody knows we listen to our teachers, and our teachers really know what's best. They're saying, we don't want to do this and this, let's all do this, and then it's aligned to what we use, our assessment on our integrate test. So I just wanted to highlight that.
And it goes without saying, but obviously anything we bring to principals always is green in ed reports, and so this
Yes,
is,
and that's
like,
gonna be-
our teachers brought it to us, but they brought it to us and it's vetted and it's a strong.
Right, they knew
it's
it was a strong
incredibly
program.
platform.
Exactly.
So we're super excited about it, and yeah, and we're gonna roll it out roll it out for everybody.
Yeah, so
in the fall.
I will be sharing that with the board, because to let them know about that, and we are happy to be able to do it for our teachers, aren't we?
Absolutely. Questions about that, particularly maybe from the elementary lens, vertically aligned? That's our second
I
one.
love it. When you were just saying that yes, that is one of our concerns, of course, always that jump to middle school anyways. And so let's continue to refine that path and make it as smooth as
Right,
possible, so
right.
that they don't need to shift their thinking in any way. They can just keep,
Yeah.
the same processes, the same problem-solving strategies that they're used to using, the same tools they're used to using. It
And
just
when you
makes
think
it
about Eureka, and I think we talked about this, and you pointed it out when we were talking, every math now is that exploring. We don't just show kids this is how you do it. We let them explore and discover. Then we let them identify and bring that to them. And so this is a close alignment with that as well. Okay. All right.
Well, I'm gonna pass it over, pass the
Sure, thank you.
torch here.
If you'll
This is
introduce
Marcus.
yourself.
Is that for the
Yes.
CTE?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. So hi everyone, I'm DeMarcus Nixon. I'm the work-based learning coordinator for New Hanover County School CTE. And I'm gonna present, I guess, our career development plans and what we're doing for career development plans in New Hanover County School CTE. So in collaboration with our school counselors as well as our school support staff and CTE teachers, we provide a continuum of support for career development, and our goal is that every student has a comprehensive career development plan in grades 6 through 12. We start off in grades K-5 by providing that career awareness piece where students are building awareness of business and industries and career fields while developing social emotional skills such as self-awareness. And then we move on to that career exploration phase in grades 6 through 8. And students begin exploring career and college readiness options through taking career inventory assessments, employability skill trainings, career and college research, as well as creating goals and plans. And all of that is done. New Hanover County Schools has partnered with Zello, and Zello is an electronic platform that engages every student to build the skills, knowledge, and plans for future success. All of our students in grades 6 through 12 has single sign-on access to Zello through NC Ed Cloud. And a lot of this has been done through their CTE classes. So if students were enrolled in a CTE class, they were getting this instruction from their CTE teachers. However, we're moving forward with creating plans where every student will have an opportunity to develop these plans in grades 6 through 12. So through Zello, students are taking career readiness lessons as well as interest inventories and assessments, setting goals, planning for careers, college research, career research, as well as gaining financial aid information and planning a 4-year high school course plan. And that's just a little bit of what they do through Zello. But as we're looking to expand Zello in the district, we are offering professional development for teachers and our support staff. So our counselors and CDCs and SBCs will be trained on the 13th of June, and our middle and high school teachers will have an opportunity to participate in professional development on the 14th at the Summer Institute.
Do we have, you want me to hold questions?
I'm done, yes.
Oh, okay. Do we have, because this is a good platform for parents, if I'm understanding correctly, could you speak to that, the benefit of a parent
Right.
for a student in having this and the benefits to parents?
So parents also have an account, so each student, there's a parent port, so they sign into NC Ed Cloud. So if a parent has access to NC Ed Cloud, they can also see their students' progress in Zello. And it's beneficial because they can kind of track their students. There is a portfolio component to Zello where students are building a portfolio, so parents can actually see what's being embedded in that portfolio over time, as well as communicate with support staff at the school that's sitting down with students and developing these plans. So they can communicate with the counselors or CDCs as students are updating certain components of their career development plan.
And one thing that I will add to that is that we are trying to take Zello to another level now and utilize it more. So I know there's probably a lot of parents saying, I don't know anything about that, and for that, so the principals and the counselors and CTE, they're looking in technology of how do we make this streamlined, because the one thing we don't want it to seem is like one more thing to do for anybody. So how do we embed this and make it beneficial for everything? So we're looking at a plan. So if parents haven't heard about this, it's because we haven't, to be honest, publicized it to the level that we want to publicize it. So in all transparency. So we do know that, and we're working on that piece.
And our school support staff will also be conducting like school-wide professional development. So a parent night is something that is planned, that we're working out in that plan, like setting dates for parent nights and different things to update parents on the use of that.
We could, I wonder if we can partner with the,
Lisa Brenner and the Parent Academy.
well, we could do that too, but I was thinking about our ELA adoption. Because we're having a parent night, Dr. DeWatt is getting ready to tell you about that. everyone about that. I wonder if we could partner, and then that way the parents could only come out one time. If you guys can maybe get
Okay,
together,
sure.
and then that way if a parent has an elementary child or a middle school child and a high school child, they don't have to come out, and just one less thing for our parents to do. I think it would be convenient for them.
Besides, you might get more people.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
they're willing to come for two things, but not one thing.
Right.
Michelle, would you be interested in having the pre-K, like, because then we could really do the pre-K-12 spectrum too.
Yeah.
Just
but
pre-K
I think
to, I'm sorry.
Well, you could be, I mean, it could be like pre-K enrollment.
Oh,
type
yeah,
thing,
that'd be,
right? Like,
hey, the more the merrier, a
have a-
big parent night.
Yeah.
That would be great.
Or we can also look at the pre-K platforms as well.
Yeah,
that they
yeah.
see.
I would say if you and DeMarcus and then get with Shannon and see how she can weave that, how they can weave that in, that would be great. That would be really good.
Yeah, the more stops on the train, the more people
Right.
will come
It's
out.
convenient for our parents too, so yeah. Mr. Nixon, because of our time, can I ask you, and I know I'm putting you on the spot, but I know you know this. Can you just give a brief overview for those people who are listening and the committee here about District C?
Sure.
And I'm gonna say Spark NC.
Okay.
Okay, so
So it's
you
two.
would start, so separate the two in their minds,
Okay.
but if you could do that. We just got so many wonderful things going on with CTE, and the more we can help our parents see that, are you okay with that
Yeah,
at that time?
of
Okay.
course.
So let's start with Spark NC. So Spark NC is an opportunity that's being afforded to New Hanover County Schools through the Innovation Project, TIP. And students will have, the way they're phrasing it is a out-of-the-box way of learning, so a new and engaging way of learning. So we're looking forward to bringing a Spark NC Design Lab to one of our schools, C-Tech High School, and that lab will be facilitated by a Spark leader. And in that lab, students are going to have the opportunity to explore an array of modules, so different modules that's set up by Spark, and Spark and Apple has worked together to design these modules. So students will have the opportunity to participate, and they're not all like sitting in front of a computer. They can be like attending an event or going to a conference or different things. And so it's different variety of formats that the modules can be deployed for students. So that's Spark NC.
Can I add one thing?
Sure.
And I want people to know, you hear is CTEC, and it would be housed at CTEC, but there will be some opportunities for other students to also take advantage of that lab. We have to sort, and this is something that our General Assembly actually has put in, for us to be able to take advantage of. So it will be housed at CTEC, and most of the students at this time will be CTEC students, but there will be opportunities for students at every high school to be able to utilize this lab. So we want to make sure that if you're out there and you want to hear about this opportunity, I would say please reach out to Mr. DeMarcus Nixon and make sure your child can access this and have this opportunity.
Absolutely.
Because it's going to be from coding to esports. I mean, it's all type of things that we currently probably don't have in our
Currently in our
district,
schools.
currently in our schools.
That's true. That's true. And so District C is another exciting venture that we're participating in this summer. We're providing a teamship program for students in grades 9 through 12 to participate in District C. So District C has a teamship model, which they take groups of students, no more than 4 students in the team, and they solve a problem for a business or industry. So real business and industries present a problem to this team, and they want these group of students to solve this problem. So they work with students through a coaching model on solving the problem. The students actually pitch it back to the business. The business may send them back to keep developing their solution to the problem. So that's going to happen this summer, July 24th through August 3rd. And we started our rollout back in March for all New Hanover County students to be able to apply. We had 100 slots available, and currently we had 65 students to apply throughout the district. So at that time, we were looking at having it in all 4 traditional high schools, but due to the numbers, we've reduced that recently to 2 sites, Ashley and Laney, but all schools will have an opportunity to participate. So the students from New Hanover High School will go to Laney, students from Hoggart will go to Ashley. And we had great enrollment from all those schools. So each group will have a full cohort of students to participate in that 2-week teamship program with District C. New Hanover County Schools will provide transportation to students that do not have transportation, and applications are still open. And so those students that choose to apply after the priority deadline will be waitlisted and have a possibility of joining District C.
Can we get that out through the media center for one last push to say, you know, this is a great opportunity for students in the summer? If it's July 24th through August 3rd, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So, yeah, get a push out, because if you've got a number of slots open, I would think that they would jump on that. As a business owner, it's really intriguing.
Yeah.
9th graders, 10th graders. Some of the best interns I've ever had came out of the high school realm. Just much better work ethic and
Absolutely.
interest and excitement and so on. And some of them gone on to do really great things. So that's,
Yeah.
I would like to follow that. Can you keep me in your loop on that? That would be,
Sure.
I would love to know what the problems are and then what the solutions are.
Definitely will. And just to mention a few names, some of the businesses
That's
that,
exactly what I was gonna
that
ask,
teams
yeah.
have worked with in the past was Wave Transit. I know last year, well, a few years ago when we did a teamship, they did it
That
with
was probably a
Wave
hard one.
Transit, Novant Health, as well as Live Oak Bank. So those are some of the areas that they'll be working with.
Very cool. Yeah.
And I'm not gonna put you on the spot again, but we're also doing a collaboration, or CFCC is doing some things where I know, what is that called, sir?
So they're career academies. So CFCC offers summer career academies to middle school students, and that's taking place in July. I'm not sure of the dates, but it's earlier. It's before our teamship, and it's a 2-week program as well with CFCC.
Yeah, and our team, we're actually collaborating and providing some of the chaperones,
Right,
not
chaperones,
chaperones, but some of the teachers to do that. So lots of good things
If you
going
want
on
to
at
send that
CTE.
to me, seems like I have a minute slot at our board meetings to say what the committee covered. So I can bring the Spark and the District C and this up if you want to send me
Send a
a
blurb,
I'll do
couple
a
of
blurb for
sentences.
it.
Yeah,
all of
because
them.
I don't know anything. I mean, I took some pretty good notes about District C because I'm really intrigued. And the Spark NC, I wish I could have gone to that demonstration. I know Josie went, but I'm real interested in that too. I just think it's lack of communication, or maybe parents just weren't prepared. But now everyone's casting around, going, "Oh my gosh, what are we going to do with these kids for the summer?" So yeah, I would
Yeah.
love to do
Is there a
that.
cap on the Spark program? Is there a cap of
Yeah.
seats?
Yeah, there's a cap of seats that are allowed.
That they pay for, it's 100 right now.
100
Yeah.
for
Mhm.
Yeah.
as well?
That they'll
Okay.
pay for. And, but because they are actually, with this, and the 60, they're paying for most of the leader, and I say most of it because we'll probably have to cover some, or we will have to cover some, but most of it will be covered out of the General
General
Assemblies.
Assembly.
And then they're also providing for the lab. So you're gonna actually get a full lab. So we hope that it can build, and I know they hope. So, and Dr. Skipper and her team are really excited, and we thought this is one of the best places to start this. Is at C-Tech. I mean, you know,
Yeah.
so it was like a no-brainer. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Well, I think that's great that you're also providing transportation, because I
Yeah.
know that's another, hurdle for a lot of folks, and
Well,
Spark and C.
Spark and C will not be
Oh,
providing
it won't.
transportation,
Okay,
no.
okay, just the
no.
other- just
Because
the
most of the
okay.
students will be coming from.
C-Tech.
From
Right.
C-Tech. The few students that are not, we're gonna have the lab open
Okay.
at different times. It's not the
Okay.
traditional day.
Okay, I see.
Because that's one piece, honestly, we were fortunate to be able to get this and the timing. So we'll see how it works, and that's where we want to go in the future. But right now, the funding nor
Okay.
the time constraints don't allow
Gotcha.
for that.
So there won't be transportation for the students from Hoggard and
For
New
that
Hanover?
program, there will be, right, though?
Not for the Spark
Not for
NC.
the Spark, but the other.
For District C.
The
it will
District
be,
C,
but not
yes,
Spark.
District C
Yes.
it will be,
Okay.
yeah. Spark and C, it'll be open, the lab will be open like later in the evenings. They're talking about, I know Dr. Skipper was talking about flexing the person, doing something on Saturdays. And so Spark and C is more
An
of,
innovative lab.
very,
Yeah,
just,
very
just really innovative. Don't think about school the way you normally
Yeah.
think about it. They really want to think outside the box with this one.
I
I
think
know.
once people find out about that, it's gonna.
Yeah. All right. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.
Well, will you just click to the
All right.
next one for us? So this is great. We already kind of started to talk about, possibility for parent night. And so I wanted to kind of bring to this committee just some really questions of what would be best for parents. So I'm actually going to jump down to the third bullet point first, which is, the question was going to be, do you think it's helpful to have literacy alone, or do you want to do ELA and math? It sounds like as a committee, we want ELA, math, CTE, pre-K,
Yeah, let's
have
just do it.
everybody, right,
Yeah.
open to all, and as a way to get more parents involved,
I
right?
love it.
I'll move up a bullet now, right? So, talking about location, I think here would be a great spot. Also trying to think about where some community spots are that we know going, not just always having parents come to us, but going to parents and where we know parents.
We've talked about that for other things with the board, and in order to live stream, it's gotta be here.
Yeah. But with this, we were not thinking about live streaming because it's like a fair.
Yeah.
So this is not for what we were talking about for our next meeting. So just think about, we're talking about, we would have tables around the room where parents could come and look at the materials we're teaching, get their questions answered. So it would be more like a curriculum fair. So we wouldn't need a live
And there could
stream.
be, a table for pre-K enrollment, a table
Right.
for CTE.
How
Sort
many
of like how
people
the
would
job
we be
fair.
expecting?
That's
Well,
gonna-
guess?
How many families would we want to come in?
Yeah, how many people would we need? Because I was thinking, you just mentioned like Live Oak Bank, they have beautiful space there. You want to draw, you want some food, you always want some food, and you want to draw a location that they might not normally, this building, who wants to come here? You've already seen it, done it, been there. But maybe an interesting location in one of the businesses, it helps incorporate. The Wilmington Chamber's not big enough. That would have to go either
Yeah.
outside or to the convention
Yeah.
center, that's yucky.
The
But
only
what
thing
about
that we
Live Oak Bank might do it.
Yeah, and let us use that big open lobby,
Big,
that.
Yeah,
Open
well,
space.
you could even
They
do it
have
in
an
the
auditorium.
food area,
Yeah, as long as there's no cost. A lot of times, I'm gonna be honest, I love businesses, but sometimes they do cost. But I think Live Oak Pink, they have they're a great partner. So if they can, I think they would give it to us. But that's the only thing. And we have a
Yeah.
cost. And food, most of the time, we cannot, we might can provide some snacks for parents. We can provide snacks. We can do that.
They used to do a transition fair in the mall.
Oh,
years ago.
wow.
I guess the last one was before COVID, like 2019, but it was right before kindergarten registration, so it was all the elementary schools, and they would have their banner
Oh,
in the center.
what is the government center back over with that wonderful hallway?
It did-
Oh, it
just-
is. It
just-
is.
did
I
just
think so.
reopen.
Yeah, because I went out there for a meeting. Yeah, it is open.
And Cape
That
Fear
is a
Community
nice
College
big
is
hallway. That's
another-
perfect.
Yeah.
Cape
Yeah.
Fear Community College is another place that we don't have to pay for.
Oh,
use
yeah,
of
they're-
their
Yeah,
Yeah,
they
you know
do
what?
facilities,
And if we
and
did
so
it
they have
right,
really nice
we could get
spaces.
I just did a thing on the restaurant program, and we get them to give us some free food. Ha.
Yeah.
We do,
Yeah,
you
my
know?
question about Cape Fear is, does transportation get up there for all families?
Well, but they have two campuses, so depending
Yeah.
on the
And
campus.
Oh,
we
you
could
were
add-
thinking up there, I was thinking.
And
over
we're gonna
here.
do two different
Downtown.
locations though.
Right,
Think about that, so.
Right,
mhm.
exactly, so we could do multiple locations. I guess I'm also wondering if there would be an interest in families to have a virtual option, right, where you would sign in, and then if you're interested in math, you'd go to this Zoom room, and if you're interested in CTE, you'd go to this Zoom room.
Wow.
Yeah.
I don't,
It's
Yeah.
amazing.
right, like,
Yeah.
we want people to be able to access it, but I also want to honor, staff and teachers' times, that if we don't think that's something that parents are going to actively engage with.
I think when we talk about it, I think we try it. I mean,
Yeah.
we've done it before. I know it was COVID. And I think a lot of people, honestly, one of the biggest things that we've got to figure out how to get this word out, because I think about the technology, and they did something like this, and unfortunately, they did not have a good turnout, that at all. So we've got to do some kind of draw, and we could do some kind of draw there. And I wonder, I don't know, but I say do it, and let's see.
Your draw is usually location and food.
Yeah.
So depending on who you pick, I'm happy to ask, for food.
Yeah,
Because that's the two things that make people come
Yeah,
out.
yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, okay.
yeah.
So, yeah.
Or celebrity. Find us a celebrity to get here.
That's true.
Somebody that wants
An
to
alum.
see the
We've done
literacy
something
improve in our
similar.
county. But you know
We're an
who
alum.
else is, the Rotary that, some of the school administrators have been, joining. They meet at the Catholic
St. Mark.
Church in downtown, the Catholic school church.
Mary's.
St. Mary's, yeah. Their whole platform is literacy, and so they're a really good fit for us, for the school district. I don't know what the other Rotaries do, that's the one that keeps inviting me. And, so we need to,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
we need to draw them
You know
in
who would be a
too.
good person to talk to with this would be Caleb. Because, you know, he's our community person, so I'm sure he has some things too. So, well, I think this is a good start.
Yeah.
To know that this body agrees we should
Yeah.
do a couple.
And Jordan, you know, here representing principals, I think also maybe, you know, in preparation for this, maybe we could collect from principals, like, here are some FAQs that you all are getting, and we can already have prepared
Yes,
some,
I
like,
was just
we
looking
know
at that bullet.
We know these are the questions that principals are getting, and so we
Yes.
can have, you know,
Yes.
either a one page, you know, one pager or a little pamphlet or something of like, and then also could then have it at schools afterwards too, when they continue to come.
And that would be a
in those
great thing to be
questions.
on the live stream too, if we do a Zoom or
Yeah,
a live stream
yeah.
like that
Yeah,
session
yeah.
as well.
And y'all would be, you could help maybe coordinate the questions that y'all are typically getting from parents.
Yeah,
Would be great.
yeah.
And then also just kind of an opportunity to plug our website. A lot of this information is there and, you know, is transparent for parents, but it would be an opportunity for us to, you know, have the website up and say, here's exactly where you go, here's exactly where you click to get there. Because, you know, we've all done, you know, pre-K has also done a lot of work to get that stuff accessible for parents. Time, so right, in full transparency, this, you know, I haven't talked to Sean about this, but like, I was thinking, like, it would be a late July, like a getting ready to get back to school.
Yeah.
A lot of parents on vacation.
Yeah,
Just figure
probably
that
first,
one out.
probably,
would do
maybe
August.
August, maybe
August.
August.
Start of
I would do
August.
August.
Early part of
August.
Early August.
Yeah. Right, I would, I
Well, I guess
don't even know if
I
I
was also
would do really
thinking
early.
year-round. Year-round starts the 12th, so, but you don't want it to be too far after year-round
Yeah,
starts.
well, I think if you do, I think the closer you do to school starting, I know year round and everything, and maybe we can work with those principals to try to do something at their schools. But I think we would get more of parents if it's closer to when school starts, because people's minds starts getting back in that
Turned
back
off.
to-
Yeah, just turned right
yeah,
off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think if we
Maybe
look
like the
at
2
two
weeks
different
before.
locations, I think if we look at two different locations.
Right, and
instead
that's
of
what we
one
were
location,
thinking
so
about,
we-
two different kind of ends of the county, kind of like,
Right.
sort of.
Yeah.
So parents, we just want to make sure we're accommodating them as much as possible. And then with the virtual aspect, we might not, but we'll see. And then that way we'll know if we need to continue that.
Okay, so it sounds like we're all kind of in agreement that this is something we want to move forward with. In terms of getting other people, I mean, I think Lisa Brenner with Student Support Services probably needs to be part of the conversation. Caleb, Jordan will kind of tag team with you to get principals and
Yeah,
get it
Yeah,
organized.
we should invite school board members,
Absolutely.
county commissioners, state representatives, and the city council.
Would love it.
Might be a draw to get a few parents
Yeah,
out.
yeah.
Want to complain?
yeah,
Come on down.
yeah. And if we can get it out early
Complain and
enough.
celebrate.
Well, hopefully by then we will be celebrating a couple of real wins.
Yeah.
That's something I want to talk about here in just
Yeah.
a second of what's
Yeah.
going on in the legislature.
Yeah, so, and then if we could get it out early enough to get some commitment, when we send it out, we can say, it's our time to talk to
Oh,
your
send a save your
commissioner,
date?
and, you know, and stuff like that.
Can we do a save your date?
Yeah.
I
when
mean, we
get
can
it-
talk to
what-
the
what-
communications team.
Yeah.
I don't want to speak for Caleb, but or their team, but I absolutely willing to ask.
Save your date, I mean, they're very helpful.
Great.
Okay, we're gonna turn it over to you.
Oh, I just wanted you guys to know that Dr. Faust sent us last week, but one of the benefits of a team of 4 going to Raleigh 2 months ago, we went and we had like 7 or 8 different meetings scheduled with state representatives or senators. And we took Dr. Faust with us so that he could explain some of the things that they want to do, so it wasn't us doing it. And it went over really well. He's extremely well-spoken. And so if you look at the state budget, the Senate budget, you go to page 92, Advanced Teaching Roles, New Hanover County, Section 7.67, page 92. And there's funding for a pilot program. This is something Dr. Faust and Patrice set up. I mean, they've got the plan, and it is for tutoring in our 4th grade math. So it's going to really segue right into what we just talked about. And I think of it as, now correct me if I'm wrong, but for me, because I'm visual, and you can always see me, I'm looking up here looking, I see like the pyramid scheme. You have these people here and these people underneath these and these people. So it's called advanced teaching roles is what they're funding. But these people will supervise these people who will supervise these people in tutoring in the school day, math in the 4th grade level. And the state is going to fund it in a pilot program for us. And if it works, then they're going to want to take it across the state. So it's very exciting. It's one of literally like 7 things we asked for while we were there. We had Chairman Wildeboer and Dr. Faust, so we could make those kind of asks. And we're very excited of what's in the budget for New Hanover County. It's there's money there, y'all.
Yeah.
You know, everybody's like, what are you going to do? And budget's so crazy, there's no point in setting your hopes on it. Just read it and then wait and see what they actually do fund, because there's a lot of trading and dickering and horse maneuvering going on behind the scenes. But Senator Michael Lee and Ted Davis and Charlie Miller, we hit them, and we visited the fellow, I'm not going to be able to say his name, the representative who was in charge when they redid the port here. Do you remember when they dug and they put more facilities out there and they just really brought our port into the 23rd century? Well, that guy has been put in charge of education. So you're going to start, and he's no nonsense. I mean, he is absolutely no nonsense. And he has a good grasp of education. And he said, they told me, I'm like, I don't want education. They're like, you're going to do it anyway, because you're going to bring these skill sets that you have. And so we're already seeing, we're going to see some funding for things, you know, that we hope for.
Yeah, we're really excited.
Very
about
excited.
It. It's
Very,
very
very
exciting.
exciting time.
It really, it's really nice to see that when you guys went there, you were heard. You know, and it's so great to hear that.
Well, and it was
really
Josie
nice to
emailed
see
me and
that.
said, well, I'm going, you know, when could you go? And I'm like, the only open day I have is here. And she said, well, the only open day I have is here, so why don't we do that? And then it just sort of built, but it wasn't like we knew that would be a day where it was very receptive. So a couple of big things were going on in Raleigh that day at the General Assembly, and they hadn't finalized their budget requests. And then it turns out representatives, I don't know if state senators and representatives, but they have personal asks, and the personal asks weren't in yet. So we got in advance. I told Josie, we're going about 2 weeks before that next time.
Oh, yeah.
Next
that's
time we got to get in there a
nice.
little bit
That's
earlier.
nice.
So
it's nice to know.
yeah. So there's other stuff that we asked for that they said, sure, you know, let me see what I can do with that.
Yeah.
So it's exciting.
We're winning.
There's hope.
We are winning.
There's
We're
hope.
winning over.
Thank you for advocating for things that support our kids. Really,
Right.
really appreciate it.
Yeah. I just wanted to remind anyone who's listening that we are beginning our testing season. You know, unfortunately, our students have to take this test, and it's a lot of, and I say unfortunately because that one moment in time is such a big representation of all of their work and what their teachers do and all their principals. And we will begin testing for our elementary May 26th. And it will run through June 9th, and that's with makeups and what we had to call now summer testing. So I just want to remind parents about making sure that our students get a good night's rest and have a great breakfast. I mean, those things really, really matter. They really do. And our
And
high
having a
school
positive outlook as
and
well.
having that positive outlook. Thank you so much. And just, you know, just writing them a note. You know, you got this. I mean, those small things. And our communications department is actually working to get us some EOG greeters at our schools. So we still need people, and it is 10 minutes of your morning, right? So you just, maybe 15. You go out there, and where the buses and the cars come in, you just hold a sign up and say, you've got this, you're ready, and just a way to make students feel special. And we have that information on our website, and we would encourage anybody to sign up, because we are still in need of others. And if you could say that, and I can
Yeah.
get you that information from that would be great. And then the other thing that I would say is our high school students, we began testing on June 5th through the 9th in high school. And our high school students, whether they're testing or not, will have instructional things to do. Our principals have plans in place, and so parents, if they tell you that they don't, they do, please, you can contact their principals now, because they've already planned ahead, so they can tell you what the students will be doing if they're not taking that EOC. But the majority of our students, which is really fortunate, you take an EOC, let's say the first day of testing, you take your EOC for first period, and then in the afternoon, you're gonna go and get some instruction to get you ready for the next day in the second half. So we are really excited about a lot of things, and our CTE classes are doing some different things during those days, different projects. So we have a day that is days that is filled with different types of instruction at time, but instruction. So I encourage parents who have high school students to reach out to their child's teachers to ask, what exactly do you have planned if my child does not have a EOC, because they have that plan in place already.
So what you're saying is, this year, this time, high school students will not go home after they take their testing.
No, they will
And the
not.
parents need to know that.
Yes, exactly. And, with the testing, it really was difficult before because of the span of testing. And when we think about, it is so powerful if you take your math test and then in the afternoon, you going to your English teacher, and she's preparing you again, one more last time before you take your English test the next day. We're using every minute, and I just want our parents to know that. We are being strategic about this and using every minute. Some schools even have students who don't have to take tests, working on the FAFSA, working on their essay for college. I mean, we're being very strategic to make sure that this time is used and utilized properly. So I just wanted to say that.
Are there any other questions from the group or things for the committee's attention? Okay, great. Thank you for meeting us here this afternoon. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you. All right. Financial aid, what's the other F? It's financial, how you get financial aid.
FAFSA,
Yeah, financial aid, federal
Federal
student,
student.
federal application for federal student aid.
Yes.
Yeah.
In full disclosure, I just Googled it just to
Yeah.
double check.
Wow, you're fast. I should have.
Yeah. It's how, so you can get assistance. And even if you
Oh, that's
don't
great.
get assistance, you still feel like that, because the Pell Grants, the work study, anything you do has to go through FAFSA. So all students fill it out, no matter what.